The air is thick with the scent of liniment and regret, enveloping a two-bedroom box perched on the outskirts of Milford, Pennsylvania, where the Susquehanna River slices through the landscape like a merciless blade. 3 years ago, I could have strolled to the diner, where I served plates of meatloaf, my smile a beacon for tips. Now my world is this living room, where the sagging couch bears witness to countless moments, a wheelchair stands sentinel in the corner, and pill bottles are lined up like soldiers on the coffee table, each one a reminder of battles fought and those yet to come. The accident stole my legs, shattered my career, and nearly consumed my very essence. A pickup, driven by a drunk, collided with me on Route 6, leaving behind scars that echo my pain more powerfully than words ever could. My name is Claire Bennett, and at 35 I find myself a single mom, a shadow of the person I once was. Now I find myself a burden, bound to this house and to him, Ethan, my son, my very lifeline. At just 20, he's a powerhouse of muscle, his quiet eyes holding secrets untold. He's the type of young man who would choose the intricate dance of fixing a carburetor over the vulnerability of sharing his emotions. Without him, I would be lost in a state-run home, a mere shadow of my former self, forgotten by the world. With him, I transform into something unrecognizable, a being I'm not yet prepared to define. The front door groans open, and Ethan's boots strike the mat with a heavy thud. He emerges from the garage, the scent of motor oil mingling with the warmth of summer, his flannel shirt hugging his broad shoulders tightly. "Ma, did you eat today?" He calls, his voice a low murmur, as if he possesses the answer before it's even spoken. I squirm on the couch, a dull ache pulsing through my legs beneath the heavy blanket. "I'm not hungry," I whisper, my voice barely breaking the silence. He strides into the room, towering at 6'2", his dark hair glistening with sweat. Those piercing green eyes, reminiscent of his deadbeat father's, fixate on me, revealing an unsettling depth of understanding. "Text, you must eat, Claire." He lets his toolbox tumble to the floor by the door, the sharp clink slicing through the stillness that envelopes the room. He's the only one who still calls me Claire. Not Mom. Not since the accident blurred the lines between us, twisting our relationship into something unrecognizable. He kneels beside me, his hands deftly inspecting the brace on my knee, a silent urgency in his movements. His hands, weathered and toughened by the grip of wrenches and the weight of countless hours, possess a surprising tenderness that sends a pang through my heart. "Is the pain particularly intense today?" he inquires, his voice laced with curiosity. I nod, my eyes drifting away from his piercing gaze. He looms near, an undeniable presence, and I despise the depth of my dependence on him. "Lie back," Ethan commands, his voice firm and unwavering, not bothering to seek consent. He raises my legs onto the couch, his fingers grazing my calf with a tantalizing touch. I recoil not from agony, but from the searing intensity of his touch, charged and unsettling. "Relax," he whispers, his fingers pressing into the taut muscles encircling my knee, sending a shiver through me. His hands move with precision, expertly unraveling the tight knots that have haunted my nights. But then his thumb glides higher, brushing against the tender skin of my thigh, and my breath hitches in my throat. Ethan stood at the edge of the cliff, the wind whipping through his hair as he gazed into the abyss below. The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a golden hue over the landscape, but his heart raced with uncertainty. Each heartbeat echoed in his ears, a reminder of the choice that lay before him. Would he take the leap into the unknown, or retreat to the safety of the familiar? The air crackled with tension, and in that moment everything changed. I murmur, a blend of caution and desperation in my voice. He hesitates, his fingers lingering above the scar that wends its way up my leg, a jagged testament to the crash that changed everything. "Is this acceptable?" he inquires, his voice now a gentle whisper, as if probing the depths of something far greater than my suffering. I nod, feeling the weight of the moment pressing down on me, as if the very air around us is charged with unspoken words and unfulfilled promises. What else can I do? He is my everything. His hands shift once more, purposeful and steady, sinking into the taut muscle just beneath my shorts. My heart races and I clamp my teeth onto my lip to stifle a gasp. It's merely a massage, I remind myself, as the tension in the air thickens around me. A devoted son, tirelessly aiding his mother in her time of need. Yet as his fingertips hover, grazing the edge of my shorts, An unexpected heat surges through me, igniting sensations I never anticipated. He halts, his hands lingering on me, and for an electrifying moment, the air between us is charged, neither of us daring to breathe. "Better?" he asks, his voice gravelly and filled with an edge of urgency. Indeed, I deceive, my skin aflame from his caress. He drapes the blanket over my legs once more, then rises, deliberately steering clear of my gaze. "I'll make dinner," he says, stepping away, leaving me to grapple with the heavy silence of what just transpired. The days dissolve into a fog of painkillers and quietude. Our small house in Milford, Pennsylvania, transforming into a prison for two souls entwined in suffering. Most mornings, Ethan disappears into the garage, leaving me alone with the low hum of the TV and the treacherous whispers of my own thoughts. I find myself trapped in a loop, reliving that moment, the heat of his hands on my thigh, igniting my body like a spark in the dark. "It's wrong, Claire," I remind myself, yet the guilt fails to extinguish the burning desire within me. He's my son, my savior, and now he embodies something more. Something that sends a thrill coursing through me each time I hear the rumble of his truck as it rolls into the drive. He stands in the heart of his home, the kitchen alive with the sound of clattering pots, a symphony of familiarity as he stirs the bubbling spaghetti, each movement steeped in comfort and nostalgia. I glide to the threshold, my gaze locked on him, a figure of strength and silent determination. As he stretches to grasp the jar of sauce, his t-shirt inches up, unveiling a striking tattoo on his lower back. A wrench entwined with a rose, a symbol of strength and beauty intertwined. He acquired it last summer, shrouded in secrecy, leaving me to wonder why. "You're staring, Claire," he teases, locking his gaze with mine. A wave of heat rushes to my cheeks as I mumble something about the pungent aroma of garlic. But he's changed recently. His eyes hold mine longer, and his voice takes on a husky tone whenever he utters my name. And God help me, I see it now. The doorbell slices through the evening air, a jarring intrusion that shatters the stillness. Ethan wipes his hands on a dish towel, his gaze piercing through the air, locking onto mine with an intensity that sends a shiver down my spine. "Stay put," he commands, as if I have any say in the matter. Mrs. Larson, our neighbor, calls out, her voice slicing through the stillness of the afternoon, echoing off the screen door. "Just reaching out, Ethan. Is your mom all right?" Her concern drips with insincerity, eyes darting like a hawk, ever on the prowl for juicy tidbits to unveil at the church potluck. I clutch the arms of my wheelchair, a knot tightening in my stomach. Is she aware of it? The way Ethan lingers just a breath away. The way I find myself leaning into him, drawn in without even realizing it? Ethan graciously declined her offer to bring over a pie, his words wrapped in a veneer of politeness that masked the turmoil beneath. "We're fine, Mrs. Larson, thank you." Yet she remains, her words weaving a tapestry of admiration for his unwavering loyalty. "What a remarkable son you are, looking after your mother with such devotion." I want to unleash a cry that he is not merely a boy, but a man burdened with weight far too heavy for her fragile mind to grasp. The door slams shut and Ethan stands there, his back rigid, jaw clenched in tension. "She's so nosy," he mutters, his voice low and filled with a hint of frustration as he sits across from me. His knee grazes mine beneath the table, and I flinch, the fork clattering to the surface. He offers no apology, merely gazes at me, his green eyes a mystery that holds me captive. The air thickens, a palpable tension settling in, as if a tempest is on the verge of breaking loose. As night falls, the house sinks into shadows, illuminated only by the flickering glow of a muted baseball game. Ethan sits on the couch beside me, his presence uncomfortably close, igniting a tension that hangs in the air. My legs throb with pain, yet I refuse to utter a word for assistance. A shiver runs down my spine at the thought of his touch and the chaos it could unleash. "You're quiet tonight," he murmurs, his voice gravelly, as if he's been gnawing on his thoughts for far too long. I let out a weary sigh, my gaze fixed on the screen, exhaustion weighing heavily on me. He shifts, his arm grazing against mine, sending a jolt of electricity through the air between us. "Have you ever pondered the sacrifices I made?" My breath hitches in my throat. What is happening? He leans forward, his elbows digging into his knees, a tension crackling in the air around him. University life, companions, a single life, pulsing with potential and fraught with the weight of choices yet to be made. "I remained here for you, Claire." His words struck with the force of a blow, guilt and gratitude intertwining fiercely within my chest. I never asked you to, I whisper, my voice barely breaking the silence that hangs heavy in the air. He spins around, his face mere inches from mine, eyes ablaze with intensity. There was no need to. You are the very essence of my existence. His voice, low and fierce, cuts through the air. A stark contrast to the way a son should speak to his mother. It's a revelation, a boundary shattered. I know I should pull away, but something keeps me anchored in place. The TV flickers, its light dancing ominously across his face, and I sense we are teetering on the brink of an irreversible fate. Thunder crashes against the windows of our Milford house, a late summer storm ripping through Pennsylvania with an intensity that feels almost personal. The power suddenly vanishes, engulfing us in an oppressive darkness, the comforting hum of the TV swallowed by the eerie howl of the wind. Curled up on the couch, a blanket draped over my lap, I can feel the familiar throb in my legs intensifying, a relentless reminder of my struggle. Ethan stands beside me, his presence radiating a warmth that envelopes me, impossible to overlook. Are you all right, Claire? He inquires, his voice barely above a whisper, as if he's terrified of shattering something delicate. I nod, yet the shadows compel me to speak the truth. I'm not all right. Not with him so near, not with the way my skin still tingles from his touch. He ignites a candle, its flame dancing in the shadows, casting a flickering light over his chiseled jaw and piercing green eyes that seem to hold the weight of untold secrets. He envelopes us in a blanket, his arm grazing mine, and I remain still, captivated by the moment. Our thighs press together beneath the fabric, a wordless pact forged in the heat of the moment. The tempest raging outside reflects the turmoil within me, a whirlwind of chaos and longing. His hand grips my knee, not as a gesture of comfort, but as a lifeline that binds us together in this moment. Claire. He murmurs, his voice low and certain, leaving no room for doubt. A foreboding message looms in the air. I must put an end to this. I do not. His fingers glide up my thigh, slow and deliberate, causing my breath to hitch, echoing in the stillness around us. Tell me to stop, Ethan says, his voice rough and pleading, yet his hand continues its relentless motion. Words escape me, thoughts dissolve in the blaze where his skin ignites against mine. In the stillness of my silence lies a hidden consent, a truth he understands all too well. He leans in, his breath a heated whisper against my cheek, and then his lips crash onto mine, fierce and ravenous, as if he's been yearning for this moment forever. I kiss him back, my fingers gripping his shirt tightly, drawing him nearer, as if the world around us fades away. It feels so wrong, yet it's undeniably us, raw, reckless, and achingly real. His tongue grazes against mine, and I gasp, my body instinctively arching toward him. The blanket slips from our grasp, abandoned as he draws closer, a force of raw muscle and desperate longing. My fingers claw into his shoulders, nails piercing the skin, and he groans, a sound that ignites a fire deep within me. You sense it, he breathes softly against my lips, his body pressing closer, a tantalizing rhythm igniting the air between us. Here we are, together in this moment. The flickering candlelight sways, weaving shadows that cloak our transgressions. In this moment, we are not bound by the ties of mother and son. We are something extraordinary, a force forged in the aftermath of the accident that took everything from us. We tear ourselves away, breathless, as the tempest continues to howl beyond the walls. The candle flickers and dies, plunging us into an oppressive darkness, yet I can sense Ethan's gaze piercing through the void, laden with the weight of our actions. My lips blaze with an insatiable fire, my body quaking under the weight of desire and shame. Claire, he begins, his voice trembling, but I interrupt him before he can continue. Stop. The silence is deafening, a heavy shroud that cloaks the reality of what has just unfolded. As my son leaned in, his lips brushed against mine, and instinctively, I returned the gesture with a tender kiss. What are we, truly? He extends his hand toward me, but I retreat, drawing into myself on the couch, a fortress of solitude against the world. The power surges back to life, a blinding light pouring into the room, revealing our hidden selves. Ethan's shirt hangs askew, his hair a chaotic mess, and I can feel the reflection of my own disheveled state staring back at me. We can undo this, he declares, his voice steady and unwavering, devoid of any hint of remorse. I nod, a wave of emotion crashing over me, tears threatening to spill from my eyes. A primal urge surges within me, a desperate need to scream and flee, yet my legs remain frozen, betraying my will to escape. He lingers for a moment, uncertainty etched on his face, before finally making his way to the kitchen. I am left behind, the heavy burden of our decision pressing down on me. The storm outside may be waning, but the tempest within me is only just awakening. We've stepped into uncharted territory, and retreat is no longer an option. 6 months later, our Milford house looms smaller, its walls suffocating with secrets too burdensome to bear. Ethan and I tread cautiously, our fingers brushing in secrecy, concealed by the heavy drapes that shield our world from prying eyes. On my left hand, a simple silver ring rests, a silent deception that hushes the curious inquiries from neighbors about the reasons a single mother remains unattached. We've shed the titles of mother and son, lost in the shadows where his hands seek me out, and my whispers silence the weight of our shared guilt. Yet with the dawn comes a searing shame, cutting through me like the ache in my legs. Ethan is transformed, his green eyes now glimmering with a softness, as if he has discovered a serene refuge within our shared transgressions. He remains at the garage, still lifting me into my wheelchair, yet his touch lingers, a tantalizing promise of what is to come. We are a fuse reduced to ash, yet the fire remains quietly smoldering beneath the surface. Whether it's love or madness remains a mystery, but it belongs to us, and for now that is all that matters. Mrs. Larson traps us in the grocery store, her grin wide and predatory. "Ethan, you're a saint for taking care of your mama like this," she says, her gaze lingering on my ring. I nod, my grip on Ethan's hand growing firmer. He grips tighter, unwavering, as if challenging the universe to take notice. She remains oblivious, her mind consumed by the latest whispers surrounding the church bake sale. We move forward, the wheelchair groaning beneath me, while he strides confidently beside me. Not a single soul suspects, not a single gaze lingers. In the shadows of everyday life, we cling to existence, our reality concealed beneath the facade of small-town niceties. In the car, Ethan's hand envelopes mine, radiating warmth, bold and unyielding. The Susquehanna sparkles in the sunlight, a silent observer of the unfolding drama. As we navigate the winding road, the weight of our shared silence envelopes us, two souls intertwined in a love so fierce it threatens to consume everything in its path. The future looms like a dark silhouette, yet in this moment we are all that we need. I refuse to glance back. The past holds nothing but shadows,